economics, history, and many others, and one begins to get a sense of the importance of non-banking work that John Allison has done and what has motivated him and the BB&T Foundation to become involved specifically in higher education. Just as the teaching of the law has been skewed by ideology, so have the workings and value of our free market economic system been either overlooked or treated with skepticism by the academy more broadly. Not universally, but more broadly. This is not, I should hasten to add, a subject unrelated to the law. Indeed, the rule of law and the property rights it serves to ensure are, of course, essential to healthy markets. John Allison well understands, moreover, that neither financial institutions nor the customers to whom they extend credit can thrive or even survive when regulation goes too far, in keeping with the discussion of the first panel, when government goes beyond its core functions and instead begins to dictate how capital should be allocated, or worse, takes it upon itself to make the allocation decision directly. Yet, just as it is with the role of the courts, higher education has a great deal of influence on the course that government ultimately takes, not least because the views of citizens are so much shaped by their time on campus. And it's with all this in mind that Mr. Allison, working through the BB&T Foundation, has provided support to no fewer than 60 programs at colleges and universities around the country, from Appalachian State to Boston College, for the study of the moral foundations of capitalism. That means the study, and indeed often the reintroduction, of the seminal works of Ayn Rand and Adam Smith. Incredibly, as my Manhattan Institute colleague Charlotte Allen discovered in researching her recent essay on the topic for the Weekly Standard, it is literally more common for first-year students to be assigned the books of Barbara Ehrenreich, such as Nickel and Dimed in America, with its focus on the exaggerated woes of those who work at modest occupations that she herself disdains, than the assignment of The Wealth of Nations, Atlas Shrugged, or The Theory of Moral Sentiments. In John Allison's view, this should not stand. And just like those who undertook to found and build the Federalist Society, he's doing something about it, planting beachheads far and wide. We at the Manhattan Institute have been inspired by his example, as you'll see in the materials for our project, which we call subtly Capitalism on Campus, in which we're undertaking to bring back full and nuanced instruction in political economy to the academy, whether through new freestanding centers or courses in economics, history, and liberal arts overviews. Indeed, following in the footsteps of the Federalist Society, we'd love to see Adam Smith societies begin to proliferate on campus. Our new initiative is a subset of work we're already doing in our Center for the American University, which includes fellowships to professors in 15 schools and a web magazine called Minding the Campus. We'll be pretty pleased, I must note, if we can match the record of our speaker this morning in reaching 60 schools. Not many can match John Allison's record as a banker, either. When he became the CEO of BB&T in 1987, he had just $4.7 billion in assets. By the time he retired in December of 2008, he'd overseen the acquisition and successful integration of 60, there's that number again, banks and savings institutions. Both through those acquisitions and the organic growth of prudent business practices, BB&T has become the 10th largest bank in the nation with $152 billion in assets. What's more, it continues in its own business practices to embody John Allison's belief in limited government. In June of 2009, the Charlotte Observer reported that, quote, 7 months after it was strongly urged to accept $3.1 billion from the federal government, BB&T Corporation, a longtime opponent of big government, repaid the money along with $93 million in interest. We know that far too often America's business leaders today feel the need to apologize for such success or talk down the free enterprise system that made that success possible. And too often, foundations which draw their assets from such success do the same. John Allison has resisted those temptations and will, I hope, be an exemplar for other business leaders. John Allison is a Phi Beta Kappa graduate of the University of North Carolina. He received his master's degree in management from Duke University. He's now a distinguished professor of practice at the Wake Forest School of Business.